Hi all, this is the week 1 assignment walkthrough. Okay, so it's a worksheet. You're seeing right now is my draft version of the course syllabus, so it might look a little different. For instance, you won't have edit, you'll still have the due date, any points. You'll be able to submit it they'll have instructions, and they'll have a tab to click on to submit it. You will also have, of course, the link to this video down here in the playlist, but I'm making the video, so that is not there yet. Alright, so it's going to be the cell biology worksheets, an individual assignment. They all are. It's a worksheet. The purpose of the assignment is to lay a foundation of cell biology, including the following: the fundamental concepts of chemistry, the energy metabolism of cells, the structures and functions of plant, animal, and bacteria cells. Plus, this assignment also has you apply the scientific method to a real-world scenario. You're going to complete the cell biology worksheet APA, which is right here, cell biology worksheet APA. And then we are going to pause. So like I said, you're going to open up that cell biology worksheet. It's an APA. You'll fill in all the stuff. We're going to look at that in just a minute. You're going to cite all your sources according to APA guidelines. You can see the Center for Writing Excellence if you need more help with this. Also, I've attached a sample APA paper and, of course, the rubric. Since it's all in a worksheet, it's not too bad, but you can always use, and I would highly recommend that you run it through plagiarism checker to make sure you don't come back all highlighted, and of course you run it through the grammar and style to write point by Grammarly. And then you do need to have in-text citations and full references in this. At least 3 for each, because you have 3 full references, you'll have 3 in-text citations. Okay, let me pause it. I'm going to pull up, I guess, the paper first, and then we'll look at the rubric. Alright, so you can see it's APA. It already has your page number in here. I give you your title. You just need to stick in your name and the date. So helped you out with that title page. This also help you later if you need help with title pages. Come back here. We see everything's double spaced in Times New Roman 1211 or 11 is what you want to be seeing. You can also do Arial. Right, so then here's part 1. You're going to have a prompt. You're going to have your answer. Check to make sure you have at least 30 words for each single thing. You'll probably have about an in-text citation per a thing. This one, make sure you are very specific. Don't give me very general topics. If you do want to do that, I still need a specific example of it. So if you want to say metabolism is whatever, then you tell me something that you metabolize, okay? Then describe primary structures of plant cells. You need to do at least 3. You're going to explain the role of those structures. And all of this again has that same word count for each single one. And then explain how plant cells make their energy. There's 2 ways. Make sure you think about that. It's the easiest cell, easy is light, but then it takes that light and it uses something like animals to continue. Then we're on the animal cells. Same thing. Everyone is going to have 30 words at least. You're going to have at least 3 primary structures. Tell me what they do. Explain how they make energy. And then we're into bacterial cells. And then we're going to have at least 3. What do they do? Explain how they make their energy. I would have fun and use one of the ways that bacteria do it that plants and animals don't, but it is your choice. And then here we're going to talk about how each is different. So you tell me something that plants do, something that animal cells do, and something that bacteria. All the 3 things that make them different. Part 2 is we read this little thing, and we say all the stuff. People got poison. What did they eat? Da da da. And then what's sick? Okay, 75 words each. So when we need to say what's his hypothesis and how did he create it? 75 words. Describe the steps of the scientific method. 75 words. So in these, if you do need in-text citations, you may not need them in here. You probably will for this one. You might not for that. I would probably have one because it helps you meet that word count. And for all of these, I will include the in-text citations when I'm finding out the word count. And then how would Earl use the scientific method to create an experiment to determine which food sources made people sick? Another 75 words. Then we scroll down to the next page. If for some reason you get a blank page, just delete the page break. And then references, you're going to have your full references down here in alphabetical order by the last name or the organization. There's another video on references on APA 101 at the end. I might even have another one just on references. Look around if you're not sure, or ask me. There's reference help, which if you look at that one, it will go through. I'll make sure I attach that. Let me make a note. I don't think I've attached that one yet. I will put that at the side, and that goes through and shows you how to use the reference citation generator, which is miraculous. Make sure they're all have hanging indents. You keep the double spacing, no bullets. Like I said, ABC order by first word. I think that's everything. Oh, that they do have dates. Don't just give me no date for everything. You know, some of them have it. If you're trying to find your copyright date, scroll to the bottom of a web page. Okay, let me pause this and we'll go look at that rubric. Okay, here's the rubric. I was highlighting this. This is basically the same directions that you have in the on the website. Let me make sure it is all look good. Okay, so then we have our table style rubric. When I grade your papers, you will not see this table because I will just put it on the side in comment bubbles. If you need to look at comment bubbles, you click on, if they don't just show up, you click on review up here, then you'll go over to show comments, which if there's none in here, so it's blank, but it would have that and it would show them on the side. Okay, back to this point. So this goes through it. So part 1 for the foundations of chemistry, that was our first one. It tells you what the question is, reminds you need the in-text citations with the full references in the reference section in 30 words, half a point. Plant cells, you see each one's worth half a point, and it's the same thing. Animal cells, same thing. Bacterial cells, same thing, except there's an extra one, right, because of that fourth question. Now in part 2, they're going to be 1 point each because they are more than double the word count, so you get a point for each. That makes life nice. And then for references, you get 0.15 for the full references, and you need at least 3 of them, and then 0.1 for those in-text citations. You need to have at least 3 full references, which means you would have at least 3 in-text citations, right? I would expect most of them to have in-text citations required because you just don't. I mean, I wouldn't know offhand 3 parts of bacteria cell without doing some research. And remember, in-text citations are used for quoted or paraphrased material. I prefer paraphrase. That means you put it in your own words, and then at the end you would do your in-text citation. A quote means you would have directly copied and pasted into your paper with quotation marks around it, and then have the in-text citation. There's another way to do it. If you look at the reference citation generator, it will really help you out for both. It gives you examples. It's very nice. And then here's the format. And the reference citation generator, in case I forgot to say, is in the UOP library, is the place to find it. Alright, so here's another 0.25 points for complete sentences meeting that word count, having your title page filled in, you know, format, grammar, everything just goes in there. And that's another quarter point, and this is all out of 9 points. Alright, then here's a note to use the right point because I find it super helpful. And that is your style and grammar checker. You just plug it in there. It takes a little bit of time, but then it will tell you anything you do that's kind of weird. And then also the reference citation generator, which, as I have said, I adore. And I hope this helps you to be successful on the worksheet. It's a lot of plug and chug. It's going to be a little repetitive. I think the second part's a little interesting because you really have to think about it. It gives you a nice case scenario, but I hope it makes sense.